going live with the stuff right now. So
Okay. I'm gonna start putting in my mic. Hear my mic?
yeah.
Level 1. Rhythm.
Watch your back, girl, I'm gonna make it last. I give it to you right there whenever you want. So come on, girl, let me take you to another world. You the one that I love, there ain't no other girl.
Die for you, cry for you. This is what I can't deny. Die for you, cry for you. Please don't say goodbye. Die for you, cry for you. This is what I can't deny. Die for you, cry for you. Please don't say goodbye.
Never say goodbye, I'ma die with you. I hate it when you sigh, cause I cry with you. See, I never say goodbye, I'ma die with you. I hate it when you sigh, cause I cry with you.
Say it. Say it. CCP Dick 4.
Woo!
What's up, players? How you doing? This is HUD Zero, also known Torrance Hudson. This is actually a really tragic episode, so I'm actually gonna keep my cool, but I'm actually gonna talk about my awesome panel right now. But then to my right, to my left, actually, the Neon Samurai, Tony San Miguel.
Up, players? Might be a somber day, but keep playing. I'm your resident stealth and action guy. Hit me up. Let's talk about that.
All right, and Mr. PRS Nightfire, the ladies' man, the mega collector, and also the overachiever who actually got another completed game of 1,000 gamer score, Mr. Johnny Alesea.
What's going on, players? I hope everyone had a great 4th of July. So, you know me, I love my retro gaming, love my gaming history, and yes, I did complete another 1,000. It was Carnivals of the World, so if you guys are into Castlevania and Metrovania games, I highly recommend you check it out. So, give that game a try. You will not be disappointed. So, anywho, there's some tragic news over the weekend, so let's get this show on the road then, guys. Let's do it.
Yeah, I wish I could be in a happier mood. Um, this past week has been a travesty, of gaming in general. Um, and right now, as an avid gamer myself, um, Microsoft decides to, I guess, let's just talk about the industry in general. Everything was doing great. Video games is booming, fantastic games. Devs are actually showing off their stuff. Everybody's getting excited, right? Everyone's dancing in the streets, right? You know, Microsoft decides to, pull out the red carpet. Let's just put it that, and then pull the carpet directly from everyone's feet. 9,000. I'm not stuttering. 9,000 employees across the board, including Xbox Game Studios, lost their jobs last week. Now, some people will say, "Oh, this is business. This is business. Oh, this is actually trimming the fat. Oh, this sounds great. This is good for gaming." All right, let's pull off the band-aid. Okay, let's pull off the band-aid for a second. All right. We already know and everything that Everwild, got canceled. I mean, that they actually canceled. They're going to studio by studio, seeing what they can get rid of. But we find out that Turn 10 got affected. 50% of their staff got completely wiped off, right? And now Turn 10 game, Forza Motorsport, is no more. They will no longer be making any more Forza Motorsports. Forza Motorsports is done. They're taking half of the staff and they're moving them on to other projects and everything, such as Playground Games, Forza Horizon, and of course the new Fable that is supposedly supposed to be coming out next year. Then the Initiative, a brand new studio. They were actually making an ambitious project. Obviously, it was going through major turmoil. 7 years. 7 years with the development cycle, okay? Headed by Gallagher, Mr. Gallagher. The studio shuttered. Perfect Dark. With the wonderful trailer that they were showing us and gameplay and all that stuff. Looks fantastic. Found out that it was just a concept, not a full game. It was a concept gameplay that they were showing. Using actual assets, but it was a concept. It wasn't a complete game. So basically, what you saw was a vertical slice that they were saying, okay, this is what it's expected to look like. Okay. But of course, Microsoft was like, nope, you guys and everything been bleeding us money. Okay, cancel. We're gonna liquidate it. Cancel. Okay. So now we lost Perfect Dark, not coming out. Let's go to Rare. Rare loses 30% of their staff. Two of their heads of the studio decides to walk away because they said, okay, well, they're actually getting rid of them. Everwild, they're canceled, right? And now the ones who actually created Banjo Kazooie and some of your favorites, they stepped down. They are no longer going to. They're actually going to be stepping down as of this a couple, maybe a month or so. Who knows? I don't know. So you got two legends besides the some of the others. They're gone. So now Rare is going to be what? Making Sea of Thieves forever? Turns out they haven't made any new IPs and everything for what, years? Oh, almost a decade. They haven't made anything new since and Sea of Thieves was like their last one, and then Rare Replay, which is actually pretty much a compilation of old games that you can actually play now. Then, yeah, and it keeps on going. All right, Raven Studios. They actually got rid of 30% of their staff. Okay, so now Raven Studios and everything is basically a shadow of itself. They're not going to be making any new games. They actually are going to be pretty much doing Call of Duty forever. Who knows? I don't know. That's pretty much what they're going to be doing. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. The list goes on. I mean, I'm just getting started. I mean, there are these layoffs right now. They're considering it necessary, deemed necessary for their, to make sure that the games that are supposed to be coming out, there's supposedly 40 games. 40 games are in development right now. Well, let's see if they actually even reach 40. 40 games, supposedly 40 games are in development right now as we speak, right? And the games that they showed at the showcase and everything are pretty much safe. Those are the games that are definitely coming out. They're not going to be touched for now. And now I'm hearing that Amy Hood, who is the CFO of Microsoft, she was the one who actually created the initiative. She's the one, not the initiative, the developer. She created the initiative to actually kill off 9,000 staff. Both now 9,000 not doesn't mean completely from like Xbox Game Studios. Across the board, we're talking about focus groups and all these and all the like, and of course the some of the ones who actually kind of green light games that are coming out in the future. Yep, they cut those out too. And some of the ones who actually developed some of the trailers and all that stuff, yeah, they cut some of that too. So basically, they were doing a clean sweep that's affecting everything that kind of deals with gaming and entertainment in a sense. And now I'm finding out that they're not done. They're not done. This is actually disrupting the gaming industry. This is not what I signed up for. Game Pass, they're considering as not sustainable. They said it's been stagnant. It's been up and down. It's been bouncing between 34, 35, 34, 35, like almost throughout the whole entire year of the studios. I mean, and now I'm hearing that there might be more maybe CEOs or higher ups and everything that either A might step down, move into other roles, or probably take on multiple roles, so that way they can trim it down. Now, this is actually going to get you sick to the stomach. Hold on to your lug nuts. It's time for an overhaul. It's all for the AI initiative. That's what they were doing. All that money that they're pulling together is actually they're pouring their money into AI. And now I'm hearing these are rumors now. Take it with a grain of salt, a big, gigantic grain of salt. They are they're going to use AI for gaming and gaming in general. So that means Xbox game studios across the board have to, not can, have to use AI tools, chatbots, and what have you for all future projects. That means the soul of gaming is being sucked away from AI technology. My rant can go any further than that thing, and trust me, that thing. If a couple of curse words come out of my mouth, it's pretty much out of pure frustration and anger and just hearing friends and loved ones losing their positions and their jobs and going online and talk about, oh, I just found out by email from some of the good folks.
LinkedIn, right?
Oh yeah, they sent them a LinkedIn. Oh
you know, people connected to that work there.
Or
see their posts all day.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Even worse.
I'm like, I'm never gonna get a job there.
Yeah. So, and even worse. Check this out. Some people actually had these. I forgot what it was, and I think there's like these things that you'd be able to sign in. Some of them were not able to sign in at all, meaning they have got fired. They're done.
Yep.
That's a shitty move. Shitty.
I gotta call bullshit on some of their what they said. They said Game Pass is stagnant, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I'm looking at their numbers right now. They've had a 30% spike in PC Game Pass subscriptions. On top of that, up until now, it's increased 8%. So they're not losing any money. They're still making profit. So that's a lie.
Yep. So here's a breakdown. Here's a complete breakdown. I actually have this on my notes. Here's a breakdown of exactly what they did. All right. So basically, the layoffs have been announced on July 2nd, which was last week. All right. So roughly 9,000 jobs, affecting less than 4% of the global workforce. All right. So global, that means globally, 4%. But that's a huge chunk compared to how big Microsoft actually is. We're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar company. Record profits, record revenue. And they decide to let people go. Okay? Total. This is the total for the whole entire year. This is not just this past week. We're talking about the whole entire year. Over 15,000, 15K employees, including early rounds in January, May, and of course June. Okay? 15,000 fucking jobs. 15,000. And, okay, I know other companies are not immune. They do the same thing, right? Yeah, I get it. But here's the thing. When you're making profits, I can understand if you're losing money, right? If you're losing money and you're bleeding money, yeah, you got to trim, to make sure we get back to the black. I get it. But when you're actually in the green, you let people go?
Well,
just because you're
scumbag.
your stupid ass stockholders, Your stupid ass stockholders, your shareholders are sitting right there with the greedy little hands talking about, hey guys, you're doing great. You're doing amazing. Oh, you know what? Oh, we can I have a little bit of that cash? I mean, we're all for you. Come on, and there's a couple of million for you, couple million for you, couple million for you. Oh yeah, glad you guys. Yeah, you're fired. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, you're fired too. Yeah. Oh, by the way, their paychecks are coming to you too. Okay, don't worry about it. Nothing. It's gonna the check is in the mail.
Yeah, your last check is getting in the mail, but we're getting all this extra cash you see. You ain't getting any of that. That's all for us.
So and now let's go even further. Departments affected. All right, sales and marketing. Like I mentioned before, traditional sales roles being replaced by AI focused. Okay, let's talk about this. Traditional sales roles are being replaced, not assisted, replaced by AI focused engineers to streamline customer engagement. You're going to be talking to AI bots now. Congratulations. 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 Now you get to talk to robots. No humans. Nope. AIs. AI bots. Yay. Enjoyable. Okay. Let's go even further. Now we talked about the gaming division. We already talked about that, right? Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention King. Yeah, King, who makes record profits every single freaking year with Candy Crush and a whole bunch of other great games on mobile that people still play today. 30% of the staff gets canned. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And then, of course, the engineering and management departments actually get reduced. Managerial layers to increase agility and flatten its organizational structure. That means they're going to be moving people around, of course, and they're going to be taking on more roles. Some of the higher ups are going to be taking on more roles, and they're going to be getting rid of all the little middlemen to minimize staffing, so it becomes more streamlined. And all because of a strategic shift towards AI. Now, people actually warned me. This is actually a bit, okay. AI has been talked about for literally the past decade. China and several other countries, they were dabbling in it. China more strongly actually, because they actually have technology that's absolutely insane and amazing at the same time and scary. We're talking about robots, robots that look like humans. They walk and talk and think and all that stuff. They actually have programs that speak to you like in full sentences and talk back to you like that. I even fooled around with it a couple of times in that thing, literally talking back and forth to an AI system that actually was sitting right there and knows exactly what I say, how I say it, my demeanor, all that stuff, what I do, daily tasks. It's all embedded in their cloud memory, and it's scary. Can someone say Terminator 2? Listen, I get it.
Haven't they seen Terminator 2? That's just the correct way to say it.
Oh yes, yeah. Have they? Yes. Well, yeah. But I have to put it out there. This is actually starting to get to that point. It's going to get to that point. So Microsoft right now is pivoting hard into AI, aiming to become the frontier AI firm. That's why their money is they're hoarding all the cash that they're saving from all these layoffs to put into their AI initiative. Sales teams right now are being restructured into technical solution areas and simplified into AI business solutions cloud and AI platforms, and of course, AI security. Which, believe it or not, I have to say that several companies right now are already doing. They are already getting into AI technology with AI cameras that actually see your face, know your actions, and they can actually report directly to the police or the whatever, and they will have everything on record. So that means you can sit
It's
right
like
there.
Minority Report.
Yeah, just like the
Minority
just like
Report.
the Minority Report. Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
yeah.
Going to be Minority Report.
Yeah.
very soon.
Oh no, it's gonna
Oh
happen.
yeah.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Give it a
absolutely.
couple years. Couple more years, you'll see it'll happen.
So far, give me your thoughts for what I'm telling you, because I mean it gets deeper. It gets real deep. What do you got?
But as someone who wanted to get a job in the games industry, I guess my best bet would be to stay independent, and hopefully some of these indie guys, the big companies, I can work there. Because a lot of the projects I have in my mind are way too large for just one person to do. Also, I already called bullshit on Game Pass, saying that it's been stagnant, it's not making them any money. Bullshit. They had a spike in the PC sales, and regular Xbox it was 8%. They're doing fine. And fire that many people, like over while you're in the green, is a scumbag move, a huge scumbag move.
Johnny?
I don't want to I don't want to flip out in rage, man. So like, yeah.
What do you think, Johnny?
Seeing all this though, and I told you guys first that Microsoft, they're like the first ones. They want to get rid of physical media. They want you to pay money and not own your games. I still think that's one of the most scummiest things. You know, that's the first thing that we saw before this Strategy News came out. And now it's gone like worse. When you hear that they're getting money, they're doing very well with the Game Pass, and then they just let all those poor people, they let go all these poor people, now they don't have any jobs now. What's that?
I see him on LinkedIn. It's not just the games divisions. It's everybody. I saw a customer service guy, like he was like the director of customer service, something like that. They kicked them out too. And I think Torrance covered that already with the AI for the. You can be chatting with chatbots to fix your computer or buy stuff.
Yeah, and you're going to be chatting with soulless individuals. Like, who the hell wants to chat with soulless individuals? It's insane.
And what makes and
but like I wanted to and go on, and then like you see all these companies that they're doing well with their money, they're doing good, they're bringing all this money, but then just to like cut these people off, it just tells you that we're gonna have all this money to ourselves, and then these people, we don't need these people, so we're gonna replace them, and then we're gonna let these AIs do their job for us, so we even get more money. The greediness is fucking disgusting, and it irritates me a lot seeing it.
Johnny, you know what pisses me off the most, right? We've known each other, 20 years? What was one of the things we bonded over was a fucking Xbox. Think of all those years, time, and money we invested in that. And genuinely had fun. And they just killed all of it like that quick.
Yeah, exactly.
That pisses me off.
Right, because I was there. I was there when the original Xbox came out. When it came out in 2001, I didn't buy it right away. But then when 2002, when I saw Jet Set Radio Future was coming out of the Xbox, I said, I definitely gotta get an Xbox to play this game because I love Jet Set Radio Future. And then I saw all these other games coming out, and I was like, I'm glad I got an Xbox. Plus the online, and don't forget, Xbox I'm pretty sure I get people to chat and correct me, but Xbox was one of the first had their online was able to play 2D fighting games. We were able to play Street Fighter 3 First Strikes, Hyper Street Fighter 2, and Capcom vs. SNK 2, King of Fighters Neo Wave, and King of Fighters 2002 and 2003, and King of Fighters Maximum Impact.
Yep.
All those games. We were able to play all those, especially, the PlayStation 2 can do online with the Mortal Kombat Deception Armageddon, but I'm talking about like the 2D fighters.
Yeah.
You know, Xbox was the first one here to do that in the States. So I spent a lot of time playing those 2D fighters on the Xbox. So, and it's just a shame. Now we're at this point, and I cannot believe that Microsoft has gone to the dark side. It's very shameful. I just can't believe it that they're actually doing this.
Yeah, I actually loved Xbox. I always said I bleed green. I always said that. I always said that. I even called myself the Iron Heart of Xbox. But right now, because of all these tears, man, my Iron Heart is rusted, man. It's really, it's a shame.
Yes.
It's a shame that a company that I love so much can be so cold-hearted and think it's okay. I think it's great for gaming, but when you're actually getting rid of freaking when you're getting rid of staff and people who are actually poured their heart into the company and was hoping to keep their job for well into their retirement, and then they lose it just like that, or better yet, when they're working on a project that was pretty much on its way to be the end of the freaking finish line, and everybody in their staff loved the game. Yes, we're talking about ZeniMax Studios, ZeniMax Online. We're talking about them. They had a project that they were working on, and they actually poured their heart into it, and it was amazing. It was supposed to be a great online looter shooter type of game, so all that stuff, verticality, all that stuff, and the staff loved it, and it was going to be a surefire hit. You know what they do? They actually say no. Game is canceled. Stick to ESO. That's exactly what they're saying. The big middle finger to all the staff. No, we're cutting your staff. You're not making this project. Stick to ESO. This is our moneymaker. I'm seeing green from this. You're not making anything else. That's what they're saying. They don't have to say it, but that's what they're saying. They're speaking volumes. Volumes so much that my ear is freaking bleeding out right now. It's so sickening. And what makes it worse is that I spent thousands of dollars on games for this wonderful console. For their artwork. I mean,
You bought a car with everything you spent on video games back then.
Mike, yes.
Yeah.
All those achievements for years. Great devs. People were excited about making games, pouring their art and knowledge into this wonderful technology, just to get slapped in the face like this? Are you kidding? And then they say, "Oh, it's good for business." It's good for business.
Okay,
we have never been stronger. That's Phil Spencer's words. We have never been stronger. We have never been better. We have never been better. But we're gonna have to let some of the staff go. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine reading an email like that? Waking up the next day, not knowing that your job is not secure for the next day, knowing that you have to put out your freaking resume and everything, as you know, and hope that you actually get snagged by another studio or another company or whatever.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Developers have been looking for a year. Over a year.
Exactly. And now these poor people are going to wonder how we're going to pay my rent. How am I going to pay my bills?
Some of these people have families. Some of these people have kids. Some of these people.
How are you going to feed my family?
How are you going to feed your family? My God,
Check
man.
this. These are all like high-paying developer jobs too. So they live in ritzy areas.
Yes.
They're getting they're going to be out of their homes like quick.
They're
Quick. These are like
Yeah.
high six-figure
five,
jobs.
five,
Yeah,
six-figure
if they
jobs.
don't have their money saved up. Yeah.
Yeah, taking care of families and everything like that. You need to make
course.
6 figures these days.
Oh, but yeah. Well, you're done for.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the financial concept of this thing. Now we're talking about the subject of money. The financial
This
context.
could be economy crashing. That's where I'm leading with that, man.
Oh.
All those people out there.
Oh, gosh,
It's
man.
funny that you mentioned that because
Yeah.
Torrance and I we were talking about that earlier. That don't be surprised if we have another video game crash. So
No, be prepared. Be prepared. Within the next 3
I'm just glad I
years,
have an extensive library, so they can.
if they
made their bet.
that's exactly what I was saying before. I mean, if the video game crashes, I said, you know what? If it crashes, I have a backlog of games I haven't played yet, and then there's some games, and I have some games there that I wouldn't mind reliving again and again because I'm good.
And I have more games than I could ever think to beat. So
there you go.
Well, I'm praying.
We could tough it out for years.
Yeah. I'm praying though.
Absolutely.
I'm praying that your games and the thing are not digital, because if a crash happens and they decide to say, "Oh, well, you know what? You lost your library." Well, that's gonna be a whole different ball of wax. They're gonna sit right there, take their ball.
I always say this, and I know you guys are probably getting tired of me saying this, but physical media matters.
Yep, you're right.
I say this time and time again.
I've started updating my even my movies and music library because I'm so tired of their digital nonsense. They're spamming ads and propaganda and all that bullshit.
Exactly.
I'm so tired.
I tell people this all the time. Stop relying on Netflix. Stop relying on HBO Max. Stop relying on Tubi. Stop relying on Paramount Plus. You know, if you go on there and thinking that, oh, I want to see this movie. Oh, the movie's not there. It's not on the streaming services. Oh, how am I going to see it? Well, duh, you should have bought the movie on DVD and Blu-ray. I tell people all this time, if there's a movie that you like, that you wouldn't mind seeing over and over again, just buy the damn movie on DVD or Blu-ray, so that way you have it on your shelf and you can pull it out anytime you want. No ads, you know. You can play the movie
that should be a
straight up.
major selling point. There's no ads.
There's no ads.
Streaming service, if you pay for no ads, they still give
you ads. Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, and then they give you another freaking tier. Oh, if you you really don't want no ads?
You really
don't want ads? Why don't you get the Ultimate Edition? Why don't you get the Ultimate Edition? Yes. Yeah. Then you'll get no ads, and you'll be able to skip throughout the movie. Blah 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 blah. You know, no.
You could have just bought the. I'm so frazzled. You could have just bought the Blu-ray.
My God.
You'd have that kind of control if you just bought the damn Blu-ray.
Yeah. So anyway, so financial. Let's talk about the financial context. Right now, despite layoffs, Microsoft posted $26 billion in net income. I just billion with a B. $26 billion in net income on a $70 billion in revenue.
Let's be real too. They're worth almost damn near $4 trillion.
My
They're
God.
shy of $4 trillion.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
course, they're around the trillion.
And that was for the March. That was for the March quarter. Now, stock performances actually remained strong with a record high of 497.45 per share on June 26th, which was actually about a couple of weeks ago. Not even a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
The company's The company's market valuation is around $3.7 trillion, near almost $4 billion. $4 trillion. Yes.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
So now the year layoff notes. Okay, so this is actually how many layoffs they actually did. In 2014, they laid off 18,000. This is actually when they. I remember Nokia. Remember Nokia, right? when they actually bought Nokia and the thing, and Satya actually decided to, came in as CEO, they laid off 18,000 jobs. In 2023, there's an industry-wide contraction. In other words, this is actually around this time in the thing, about a little after the pandemic. 10,000 jobs disappeared. And then in 2025, this is the largest shakeup in history. 15,300 plus, largest shakeup since 2014. So 2014 was actually the largest, but this is just about near close. And you know what? It's not done yet. By the end of the year, I wouldn't be too surprised if it actually reaches around almost 19 to almost 20,000 jobs.
Oh yeah, yeah. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It looks like, honey.
Yeah.
Honey, I know you wanted that game console, but unfortunately, you're gonna have to get that little mini console and thing with the 15,000 games on it. Hope you enjoy that instead.
I'd
Daddy.
be happier with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah.
Of course you would.
Of course you would. Of course you would. But Dad.
A little Timmy won't.
Yeah, but Mom, I'm not able to play with my friends online. Oh, don't worry, dear. Maybe next year. So, anyways, oh God, employees. Okay, this is the internal reactions. Okay, this is actually stuff that's going on the inside. People on listen.
It's just surprising to read all this.
Yeah,
it really is.
yeah, no, it is. But I have to. I mean, I have to put things into context.
I understand.
And we'll try to go on to something more positive. But I have to get this off the chest. The employees right now were reportedly stunned. They were stunned by the timing and scale of the cuts. Obviously, the critics right now point to the disconnect between record profits and aggressive downsizing. So right now, internally, there's a lot of turmoil going on. Now, getting off of this, I've been hearing and taking it with a grain of salt from many insiders that right now the state of Xbox and the thing is in complete disarray. People are afraid right now. There's no happiness right now. There's very, very grim. From the inside, people are not happy. They are right now in disarray. They are actually
I gotta
frustrated.
interject too.
Yeah, go ahead.
What happened to that great show they had just a couple weeks ago?
Exactly.
And now all of this. That's what shocks me and pisses me off even more. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, I just came from LA, came from a great show. Everybody was excited, about a new console.
Yeah.
Everything was all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a farce. It was something that was already brewing. They put this pony show on just to distract us from something more sinister and more dark than anything that's happened in gaming history. This right here.
They got me on this one.
Yeah.
They got me on this one.
They got a lot of people on that one. A lot.
Okay, and people.
Normally, I got a sharp eye for that.
Yeah, but people were shocked that certain games did not show up, and people were like, "What happened to the Perfect Dark, Everwild?"
And I said, no wonder why they didn't show that over at the showcase.
Contraband.
There you go.
Contraband. People were worried about State of Decay 3. Oh wait, did this get the axe? Then we're finding internally that no, right now Undead Labs and everything is safe for now. And then
we're gonna fight over there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Sign the contract.
Oh.
If I win, you cut this nonsense out with the video game industry.
Oh my God.
If I lose, I'll just disappear. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. My God.
Yeah.
And then and several other projects. Contraband, like I was mentioning before. Contraband. Now Contraband, they actually showed that 3 years ago? They showed a little teaser, right? And people were like, what the hell happened to Contraband? No one's heard about it. Avalanche Studios, they were the ones that were supposed to make this wonderful game and everything, published by Xbox Game Studios. Now we're hearing that you can go on to the Xbox sites and everything where they have the videos and go to their YouTube channel. Contraband is nowhere to be found anymore. They completely took it off. They swept it under the rug. They actually completely and also when you go to their live on online, or if you go on there, it's no longer there. Contraband is no longer on the list. You don't see anything. No marketing, no nothing, no nada, zero, gone. Not even Avalanche themselves. Nope, nothing. So that game is quietly canceled. I guess they already got all that backlash from the 3 games and everything. Why add another one? You know, they already gave Tango the freaking shaft, and they said, okay, well, Tango Studios decided to take their studio back. Thank God. But for goodness sake, man. And then I'm glad that Toys for Bob and everything, they said, you know what, we can't stick around. The thing, they actually decided to take their company and become independent. Thank God, because if they stuck around the thing, there probably wouldn't be a Toys for Bob. So right now, I mean, I can go further on, and I hate to talk about depressing news, but this had to be said because number one, I can talk about great things about video games all day. Oh, I trust me, Expedition 33, I finally finished it. Oh my God, what an amazing game!
I've been waiting.
Yeah, I know you've been waiting. Trust me, we got a lot to talk about.
There's an upside to this.
Oh yes,
there's an upside to this.
Yes,
we get to talk about all the retro games we enjoyed ad nauseum, man.
Oh
yeah, absolutely.
We got fun shows like we did with Jet Set Radio all the time.
Yes,
exactly. We could do like the history of our favorite games. We could do like the history of Contra.
Right.
The history of Metal
Like
Gear.
I said, we can talk. Every gamer out there can tough out a Crash for a couple of
Oh yeah.
Some people can do that laying on their back.
Exactly. Right. So my thing is, I still love gaming, and I do love gaming. It's the future of gaming that I'm worried about right now. It's the future of new games, new IP, new ideas, new concepts, new fun, new music. All that stuff right there, that stuff that we get excited about. Okay? I just played Mecha Break. What an amazing freaking game. Guys, it's on Game Pass. Play it. Love it. It's mechs. It's freaking battles. It's lasers and missiles and holy crap. It's just.
I'm already sold.
It's. Let me. Oh my God. I know I'm like talking about something positive in the middle or something, but you know what? I want to throw it out there. Mecha Break, guys. I don't care what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Get on it's available on Steam. It's available on Xbox. You guys have to play Mecha Break. If you like games like Virtual On, arena style game fight, but this is actually much broader though. This is actually more of like base destroying these bases, and also these and you destroying buildings, and you have your teams out there, and you face other teams, not AI teams, other teams that are actually physical. 6-on-6, and you kicking ass and taking names, and it's amazing. Oh my God! Listen, I'm getting back on that game when I get off this. But dude, what are them? See, games like that gets me excited, gets my blood pumped. That's what gaming is all about, right? I get it. I get all that stuff, that's happening out there, and trust me, I mean, I don't want anybody to really delve too much into it, because trust me, there's a lot. It gets a lot darker and a lot deeper, and I don't want to get into the politics of things, because this is not what this show is all about. It has nothing to do with it. It's all about games. This is what we're all about. But my God, it's something that I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of a future where we're gaming. We don't have much control anymore of what kind of content we actually get, and we actually are forced to play either the same old thing, the same old games, right? And or we have to go back to our retro games and try to relive our past, the when gaming was at a high instead. Nintendo, even though they do
Like I said, I
scumming,
could live there for years.
yeah, okay,
I could live there for years.
listen, take me back to
I'm
1989. Take me back to 1989 and 1990. Let's pick a number. I will stay there for as long as I can and just keep on rotating. Listen. Lock me in an arcade, and you will see a happy guy.
It's done. Yeah.
Lock me in an
I'll end up
arcade.
like those guys in Japan. that
Yes,
live in the internet
absolutely.
cafes.
Yes. Lock
Yeah.
me.
I
Lock.
live in the arcade.
Give me 20. Give me 25,000 coins. I bet it. No. Put it all on free play. I'm satisfied for years. I'm satisfied for years. You can put me in there, and all you gotta do is just throw a freaking burger or two and everything under the door. I will survive. I will survive. I will survive.
Yeah.
But so anyway, getting off of this, I'm telling you, everyone, guys, if please, if you have anybody who's in the industry right now who actually is an artist, who's a tech guy, who's actually in gaming in general, just be considerate, and also those who actually are not in the, please be considerate. These are people's lives, people's livelihoods. Be respectful. Losing a job is not fun, especially when it's a big job like that. And if you actually are in the industry and you have a job opening, look those guys up. Look to the LinkedIn's. Offer them a position. Whether middle or upper or whatever, lower, whatever. These are talent. These are talented people. These are talented people, and I think they deserve it.
Hello.
Exactly. these are talented people out there, right? And and these people deserve to put their talents into the world, and actually bring amazing games to us, which is actually what we're looking forward to. So, but getting off of that, let's talk about some more positive things, and let's move directly onto it, because I was gonna go to a commercial break, but you know what? Screw the commercial break. We're gonna skip right over that, and we're gonna hit right into our
There's a cool down after sparring.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a cool down run after
Yeah,
sparring.
there's a cool down round after sparring. Exactly. Let's talk about something really really fun. This is actually what our original subject was going to be. We're going to talk about arcade games and why certain arcade games never made it home. Now, this is something that I was thinking about for a long period of time, because I remember going to the arcade, playing some amazing games that actually had these doohickeys and the what's a whoosies and light guns and certain things you could be able to sit in and sit down, like for instance Afterburner, with rotating with cockpit and all that stuff, and the rumbles. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
to play in the arcade.
And
Yep.
and you
Carnival.
yes,
Never made it
Carnival never made it home. See, there are so many amazing games.
The House of the Dead games.
Yes.
Scarlet Dawn that Tony and I played. That
Yep.
never made it home.
We kicked its ass.
Yes.
We didn't just play,
No.
we kicked its ass.
Yeah.
I know we did, but I like to kick its ass one more time.
Let's kick its ass even more times.
Yes. So
Exactly.
so right
Too
now
bad it's only in the arcades though. We gotta go back to the arcades to play it.
so right now I'm actually we're gonna go through a list, and also Johnny and Tony, if you have any games that you want to add.
I got quite a list.
We're gonna go down to a list of games and the reasons why it never really came home, and also a question why it never came home. I mean, really, to be honest with you, it could be with the peripheral.
Well, we won't be able to give them a good answer on why it never came home, because we're not in these developers' minds.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody could figure out. Like,
yeah, but then
the peripherals just weren't there. Same with the hardware.
Yeah, it could have been that. Could have been the hardware. Could have been a lot of things.
It's technical.
Yeah.
Or maybe a license issues. Who knows?
That could be
because there's one. I know I'm going a little ahead though, but Alien vs Predator, the beat 'em up game from Capcom, that was originally
love it.
that was originally was supposed to have a 32X port, and unfortunately got canceled because the 32X was not doing well in the states, and that's why Capcom decided to cancel the development of it.
That's a
I
travesty,
mean,
though.
I would have loved to see how it would look in the 32X. To be honest with you,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, I would have definitely bought. Maybe people would have bought a 32X just to play that game. I guarantee.
Indeed.
Sure.
Me personally, when it comes to that particular game, I'm sitting back and I'm like, damn, man, why didn't we get a game? Why didn't we get this game for console? I mean, it's so simple. I mean, the 32X I think was powerful enough. Hell, the Sega Saturn, that's like a no-brainer. Oh, you know,
I'm so pissed.
Sega
I'm
Saturn.
so pissed that the Saturn did not give us Golden Axe: The Return of Death Adler.
Oh,
Yeah,
Why
seriously,
not
that was a great one. Yo, that game
my
was long.
God,
The game was
yes.
It's one of the longest beat 'em
It
ups I've
was
ever played.
awesome. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it still
You got
frustrates
your
me
money
to
for
say
it.
that this game never got a home port.
I,
Come on, Sega, for goodness sakes.
yeah. Oh,
You're gonna bring back Golden Axe? Please give us a port of that game.
oh. Well, they did give us a port and everything. I had, but it was actually for the freaking arcade one up. Yeah, the arcade one up and everything, where they actually only made limited freaking cabinets for almost $700, $800 a piece. No, thank you. So,
I
yeah,
can't play an arcade one up. They're too small. They're like for children.
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
I play. Listen, dude, I play one of those things. I feel like I'm gonna break the joystick off.
Mm.
Yeah, they're pretty flimsy.
Yeah. So, and not only that, some of the buttons and everything, they don't really have the clicky. When you're playing, how when you playing the arcade and you actually when you pressing the buttons, it has that nice little kickback when you pressing the buttons. It doesn't have that. It
Oh
feels
yeah.
too plasticky. And I was playing I was playing around with it. The other day, actually no, not the other day. This is a long time ago. But when they had it in Best Buy, they had little displays, and I was like, oh, let me try it out. They had like, what's it called, Rampage going on. I was like, oh, let me try it out, bro. Listen, I felt like I was gonna snap that freaking controller. One, two, the buttons when I was pressing the thing didn't really have.
Yeah, that's what I just
It didn't really have that same clicky, that feel, when you're
Yeah.
pressing the buttons.
No,
It just felt too plastic, and I'm like, damn, man, did they even put any effort in this? Which is the reason why a lot of arcade purist websites, or better yet, even some shows on YouTube, they were really them a new one, the arcade one up company, because they own actual arcades. They refurbish actual arcade machines, and they know the difference, and they feel like they just cheaped out, and they increase the cost on these things. I'm like, come on, bro.
It's
That's
amazing. It's amazing that people still I see people on YouTube like they buy they set up like a big like a man cave and set up all these one up arcades there. And I'm like, okay, I mean that's pretty cool though, but to me, when I saw like how it feels and everything, to me I think that I mean this is my opinion. I think it's a waste of money. I'd rather just have the real thing.
yes.
I have a handful of games that I can mention right now that Sega had no excuse not to port to the Dreamcast. Stuff like Gunblade New York.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. Oh, what an
Gunblade New
amazing
York,
game.
Jurassic Park game.
Yes.
Yeah, they had LA Machine Guns. They had a lot
Another
of
one.
cool gun games
Another
that
one.
they could have brought home to the Dreamcast.
Oh, I remember playing that in Nathan's.
And then what else did we get?
Well,
Some
also
sniper
that
game.
Scarlet Dawn. I mean, they did bring some of the House of the Dead games, but the one we played at the arcades recently, they never brought that home.
No, but I mean, like for these retro games from like the '90s, man, they had no excuse to not port them over. We had the hardware, they had the technology.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a few. I mean, I can go down a list of things. Starting in 1983, there was a game called iRobot. Now, if you're familiar with this Atari hit, it was the first 3D polygonal arcade game. but because of the technology, it never made it to home systems. But here's no excuse. Here's the no excuse kind of thing. Do you have the technology now? You have the technology
Yeah.
now. So why
Yeah.
can't they port the game now? They can port the game now. Atari, I mean, as a matter of
Easily.
fact, Atari
Easily.
has been really
Yeah,
started
sure.
they've been starting to dabble into like classic games now, and bringing them back. Like for instance, Karateka and everything. You know, they actually brought like a whole
Mhm.
documentary of Karateka and everything, and how they did the motion capture with these polygon. It was amazing. Absolutely, it's like I was kind of shocked of how advanced or ahead of its time it actually was to bring a game like that. It was like a martial arts game in such a way for a video game. It was amazing.
It kind of played like Prince of Persia, like karate.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Yeah.
controls are a little like very similar.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like if you try to just walk towards them, they'll kick you and knock you over. You got to get into the fighting stance first, then
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
Yeah.
forward.
yeah.
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 So iRobot should have actually brought they should have brought that game home. Radar Scope, made by Nintendo. Now, this game was actually didn't really make it because it was a commercial flop. It was like one of their earlier games right before Donkey Kong was actually made. They, believe it or not, the Donkey Kong cabinet that you see right now originally was supposed to be like a cabinet made for radar scopes. But since they didn't really do too well, they scrapped the project and they made them into Donkey Kong cabinets. And now you see the Donkey Kong game today with Mr. Jumpman, aka Mario. Uh,
Right.
so there's that, and then there's a Disco Number One made by Data East that actually came out in 1982. That only came out in Japan though, by the way. It's a roller skating combat game, similar to like rollerblading. You know, roller games. You remember roller
Cannon
games?
Spike.
Yeah, roller
Sim-
games, I remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
similar.
Cannon
TV show,
Spike?
man.
Similar to that. Yeah, so it's like a roller rink
Cannon
kind of
Spike
game.
was on the Dreamcast. Yeah,
Yes.
I love that game.
Oh, I love Cannon Spike. Oh, what a
That's the
great
Cannon
game!
Spike.
What a great
Dreamcast.
game! Oh my
I
god.
got a
Classic game.
great one they should have brought home, but I don't know how they would recreate the peripherals. You guys ever play Lucky and Wild?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one
Isn't that
person's
crazy?
driving. One person's driving and everything, and one person
Yeah.
has a light gun.
Crazy.
Listen,
Oh man, you got it. It's teamwork.
God, that's so great. That's an amazing game,
Yeah.
man. You know. You know
Wow.
what? That game right there. That game would work.
That was
That-
innovative, man.
Yeah.
Really innovative.
But the thing is, you have the technology. We can make that work. All you need is the driving wheel on player one, and the other person has a light gun in player two, and then there you go.
Yeah, it's
You-
super easy.
Super easy,
Yeah.
man. You know, it's a no-brainer. But money left on the table for something like that. Williams actually made a game called Star Rider. Now, Star Rider was a Laserdisc game. Now, Laserdisc actually was pretty much getting into games like Dragon's Lair and then Dragon's Lair sequel and of
Space
course
Ace.
Space Ace. Great game, by the way. I love that game.
Yeah.
I'm still
Um,
trying to figure them out.
yeah. So
Oh,
that
yeah, mate.
so because of the hardware complexity, it never really made it out then. But here's the thing: we have the technology now. I mean, you can actually right now download games like Dragon's Lair and Dragon's Lair 2, and on top of that, Space Ace. That's a matter of fact, they have a collection. You can play it right now. You know, you can buy it right. You can buy it right now. Yeah, you can buy it
You
right
can stream
now.
them on a browser.
Right. You know, in all its wonderful glory, you can play it right now. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure Arcade One Up actually made a version of the game as well. So I mean, in its own complex way. And so it's nice to play it in the arcade cabinet, but the actual arcade cabinet that use the actual laser discs, oh my gosh, man, you can't beat that. Ah man, Time Traveler, another game. Now this game came
That was
out
awesome.
1991.
Yes.
3D. It was a 3D-ish type of game. When you look on there, and it looks like, oh man, it's
I saw it in Disney World of all places.
yeah,
That's the first
yeah.
time I saw it.
As a matter of fact, that's when it first
Yeah.
appeared. It first appeared. It first appeared in Disney World. Then they became. Then they
that's where
actually
I saw
started
it.
pointing it out. Yeah, and then they started putting it out in selective arcades.
Yeah.
It's a holographic visuals, impossible to replicate at home. False. We got
Yeah,
VR
you can do
now.
that now.
You got VR now. You can do
Yes,
that
you can.
technology. You
Not
know,
even. They can do the Pepper's Ghost thing.
yeah, they
You
can
know
do that
that
too.
special effect, the Pepper's Ghost? That's how they
Yes,
make the hologram.
yes.
It's super easy.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
It's even cheaper to do than VR.
Oh my gosh. Prop
Oh, yeah.
Cycle. Now that game is a pedal-powered flying game. Came out in 1996. Actually, matter of fact, I saw that game. It was available. It was actually over at Nathan's. If you remember Johnny, they actually had it
Of course.
in the back corner. They had a huge freaking game, and you could actually be able to sit on the. Listen, you want a game to work you out? Want a game that'll work you out? Play that game. Play that game for like a
Oh,
good
yeah.
30 minutes. You will be
That's a
tired.
game for you.
Listen, man,
Yep.
that's a game right there that would make gangbusters for if they actually put that in like the workout exercise market. Just put that game out,
dude.
and
I
put it on a
got a
motorbike.
game for you guys, and I know Tony knows it as well, but I will let Tony go because he has something he wants to say.
Oh, go ahead.
I forgot. Now I'm interested.
Oh,
I
So
forgot
you
what I
want me
was
to
gonna
say
say.
now?
Yeah.
Okay. I wish that there was a way that they could bring a whole part of Punch Mania to Hope No Ken Fist of the North Star. That game
Yeah, that and
gives
the other
you
boxing
a
games where you
good.
can punch some,
That
actually
game
punch something.
will give you a good workout. I mean, they had the first game over at Nathan's.
Yep, I
But
remember.
they didn't have the second game. There was a second game, but they had like two of them, and you could do versus, and you could do co-op, and it plays the whole chapter, every single chapter of the Fist of the North Star story. Like after they finish off with Kenshiro fighting Rao, then it goes into Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star 2. That's when Bat and Lin are grown up, and then that's when Kenshiro fights Rao's twin brother Taiho.
Very nice.
Yeah, it has the whole story right there, the whole saga. I wish that there was a way they could like bring that game home, because that game will give you a nice, good workout. I love that game.
Yep.
Especially I'm a Fist of the North Star fanatic.
Absolutely.
What kind of peripheral would you need for a game like Real Puncher? Remember Real Puncher?
Oh, I think you probably need.
You actually punch the machine.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, you
Sonic Blast Man was like that too. A target would pop up and you punch it.
Oh, Sonic Blast Man. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, so you actually punch the machine. You're not like punching pads like Fist of the North Star, right?
No, you're punching pads.
You're punching pads. You're punching pads.
Yeah, you're punching pads.
Well, Fist of the North Star was like that. You had 3 pads on each side, and then when the one comes up lights up, then you gotta hit it. And if you don't hit it on time, then you get hit.
You get hit. Yeah. And also for blocking too. So that means so that means either way. Speaking of hits, why don't you guys hit that like button and also subscribe to our wonderful channel? We got amazing content every single week, Sunday and Friday at 9 p.m. We have amazing topics and everything just like this one. And also feel free to jump onto our Patreon and everything. It's only $5 and everything. Oh, better yet and everything, you can just come on to visit the show and watch our wonderful content anyway. But that $5 really does help nothing. We pour it right back into the show. We can actually add some new contests and what have you. We are just about almost there to 100 subscribers. We are so close. We are so close, ladies and gentlemen. I believe we have what? We have about eight more subscribers.
So I think like 8 more.
Eight more. That's right. 8 more. 8 more subscribers, folks. 8 more. And then we'll actually have our first giveaway and the thing. It's going to be something special in the thing, and you know what? One of these episodes, we will show you exactly what it is. And then you'll probably be more enticed to actually join. But trust me, it's going to be something very special. And only one of you lucky folks will actually be able to win it. But you got to subscribe, and you got to go to our Patreon. And also, please, if you actually want to become one of our founders, you can actually go ahead and plug in your $500 and everything. And trust me, you will get the whole spiel. You can check out all the details on our Patreon. Go and hit that wonderful QR code right there below. And join in the fun. It's gonna be awesome. So back to the show.
Yes, back to
plug.
the show.
Back to the show.
I was thinking of. I also wanted to mention though. There was some canceled arcade games though, but there's a place over in Illinois. It's called Ghost Goblins Arcade, and there was two arcades there that I played though. There was Final Rage 2 that they had. They actually had a prototype of that game.
Yeah.
And they actually had a prototype of Beavis and Butthead the arcade game.
I was actually shocked that it actually made an arcade version, because I remember I played it for the Sega Genesis and they had a Super Nintendo version also. And
right,
but the arcade version was more of a side scrolling.
They are different because you walk up and down in the arcade.
Yes, and
then the bonus and on the bonus stages, what's cool is that you remember that episode with Babes or Rusto when they had the sticks with the gloves and they were beating each other on the mud.
Yes.
There's a bonus stage that involves with that.
Oh
it's
God!
Hilarious,
oh man!
I gotta see this game. I'm looking for it.
Oh, it's there. If you go on YouTube, you'll see it though. But it's fun to play.
Yeah,
Galloping
Ghost.
They had that over there.
Galloping Ghost.
Yeah, if you go to Illinois, go check out that arcade. That guy. What's his name over there? The guy who owns the arcade. He's a good dude. Very good dude.
Yeah, I actually talked.
Everybody's there, and like when I went over there. They gave me this card that I could play the games, free play all day. All day. I forgot how much it was though, but I think it was $20. I still have my card though. And one of the guys that worked there, I'm very cool with though. So
nice.
He told me that if I ever go back there, just let him know and then hang out. And then if you go into the back of the arcade, they got the pinball machines there. They got pretty much every single pinball machine.
I'm sold.
The arcades that they have over there, you're gonna be amazed what they have there.
Yes.
They have pretty much every arcade game there. They even have the Castlevania arcade game over in Japan that you actually use the whip and you whip and you lash and you whip. You use that whip and lash. It's I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they actually got an arcade from that direct imported from Japan.
Wow.
So guys, go do yourselves a favor. If you're in the Illinois area, go look up at that arcade. You will not be disappointed.
Wow. So, other games that actually never made it home. Arm wrestling, obviously, for obvious reasons. Because it actually had a mechanical controls and everything. You can be able to hold on to it and everything. You can be able to, do that. Put your arm down. That's one. Then the second one is what's it called? It's also a punch out. It's a punch out spin-off. So basically, they use the same assets as Punch Out with the mechanical arm.
Okay.
Yeah. Another game that I'm surprised they actually don't have, Cloak and Dagger. Now, Cloak and Dagger, if you're familiar with, a lot of people are probably not familiar with Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger was an Atari game that came out that came on for the Atari 26. Supposed to come out for Atari 2600. The Atari 5200 was supposed to get a copy as well. Problem is, it got canceled, but it was a movie tie-in. The movie came out first before the game. People thought it was the other way around. Believe it or not, it was actually the game was set in this weird spy era type of game. And if you ever seen Cloak and Dagger, it's funny. It's a like a run and chase type of movie. Where where a kid actually stumbles onto a game, Cloak and Dagger, which actually had special spy documents inside of the game, and you have to get to a certain level to actually unlock it. And these Russian spies were the ones who actually found out that they actually had that cartridge, and they wanted to get their hands on it, and they had this huge. Yeah, but the kid is.
That was a kid, right?
Yeah, the kid. And the kid's imagination actually has imaginary.
Yeah, I think I did see it.
Yeah, he had an imaginary friend who actually was a special ops or whatever it is, and that shit just shows up. It's up. Yeah, it's it's weird. It gives them tips and
Sounds
stuff like that.
wild.
It's pretty wild. It's a great fun type of game back in the 1980s. Definitely give it a shot if you can get your hands on a copy and watch it. Fun for the family. Um, yeah. Here's one that's that's right up my alley. If you like side scrollers, why not try out Ninja Baseball Bats, man? Okay,
Love it. I
came
love
out came out from Data
it.
East.
Now you're
I love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hilarious.
it made by the great guys at Data East. Cult beat 'em up, and there was no console release. No matter
It's so much fun.
But here's
Yeah.
the funny thing. It was so popular in the arcade, it still never made a home release. Why?
There was another game from
I
Data
don't know.
East, though.
But you
go
see how
ahead.
well Ninja Baseball Batman plays though? It's
Oh,
like playing Streets of Rage 4.
So good,
The hit detection and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
and the controls,
Yeah.
it is like perfect.
so good, and they decided, nope, we're not gonna bring it home. Nope.
Yeah, it was great design.
Unreal.
So it not coming home
It was-
boggles my mind.
Yeah, there was one arcade game. It was RoboCop 2, the arcade game. That
Yes.
never came out as the home system.
Mhm.
That game you could play as co-op, and you guys could play 2 RoboCops.
Yep. Great game.
Yeah. Oh, Tony, we cannot forget about this game that we played together in the arcade that they never brought home. Rambo.
I still got to beat that game. I don't know where we're
Yeah.
gonna find it now.
Which one? Which one? Which Rambo?
We had so much fun with that one, man.
The Rambo from Sega is a shooting game. It had the second. It took place during this. I think it had
It was
Rambo
First Blood
2.
Part 2. It was First Blood Part 2.
And there was Part 3, I believe, right? It had to be
Mm,
Part
Yeah, we
3
got
in there.
because I remember we fought the guy in the helicopter in the second one.
Yes. But we
okay.
never got the chance to play the Rambo 3 story.
Yeah. Because the guy yanked the plug on us. We would have beat it. They yanked the plug on us.
Oh, because let me guess.
Yeah, we didn't
It was
make it.
closing time, right? It was closing time, and
It
it's
was
like,
closing time,
yeah,
we had to
and you want to keep on playing.
Hey.
Hey, listen, man. I've been there.
I went back there, and the game wasn't there anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, that made me feel like you're a teenager in the 90s again.
Well, I
I used to
got-
pull that shit on me every time.
Don't-
I was on the arcade every
Don't
week.
you just love that, man? You're getting into these wonderful games, and you're having a great time, and then all of a sudden, boom! Oh my God! Why are you doing this for me?
You
And the
just hear
game is
everybody
just
in your
gone.
thing go, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, let me finish it up, though. This is my last one.
Oh, they don't
There's
care.
nothing they can do once the plug's been pulled. Yeah, you ain't going back.
And that's it.
Yeah,
You're done.
they don't care.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back tomorrow. That's it.
Oh my gosh,
Give
man.
us another $20, $30 in that one game.
Mm-mm.
Exactly, but dude, I don't know where the hell we're gonna find another Rambo arcade though.
Yeah.
No.
One of us is going to have to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll chip in though, but you're gonna have to. I mean, if you could put it in your place though, that'd be great. So I'll come over. I don't care.
I bet you I can find it.
Trio the Punch. Also another game from Data East. Only came out in Japan, 1990s.
Okay.
Surreal action game. Resurfaced only on niche platforms. So I don't know exactly what Trio the Punch actually is. I actually was looking it up and I couldn't find any major images. Like I keep on showing something else besides what I was looking for. But if you guys can actually bring it up, let me know because I'm actually been trying to find out what the heck this game actually is. I've heard of it, but like I said, it only came out in Japan.
I might have
One
it.
game.
I think I have it.
You do?
Yeah, because I recognize these screens. Yeah, I think I have it.
Really?
There was
Trio
It's
the
like a
Punch?
side-scrolling. It's like a side scroller, and there's like all types of weird characters.
Really?
Because I
Huh.
recognize them.
Oh, that's right. It came
Yeah,
out for
recognize
it came
the
out for the PS2, did it not? Or no?
No, I got a cabinet, and then I put there's a hard drive in there with it.
It's a side-scrolling game, right? Like a side-scrolling.
side-scrolling.
Okay.
It's like side-scrolling, like Rastan type. You remember Rastan?
Oh, that's right.
It scrolls like that.
Yeah.
Like,
And those
side-scrolling.
weird big faces on there too, right? Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh.
It's just odd.
another game I want to mention. Actually, there's two I want to name. They're from Konami. This is from based off a Saturday morning cartoon. Tony should know this though. Cowboy of Mumasa.
Oh,
Cowboys-
yes, Cowboys of Mufasa. Yes. Wow, I love
Yeah.
that game. That game was
I just
freaking
beat it
amazing.
recently. That
Cowboys of Mumasa. Yeah. That was based on that Saturday morning cartoon, but it played exactly like Sunset Riders though.
Yeah, it was like Sunset Riders, but Cowboys.
Yeah, I was telling Joe
a lot of
about that.
fun,
And Joe, our buddy Joe though, who's into those westerns, comics
Yeah.
and cartoons. And
Yeah.
I told him about
Shout
that
out to Six
cartoon.
Gun
Now
if you're listening.
he said he wants to play it now. He said he wants to go search it now.
Yeah, it's
He
similar.
has to.
It's
gonna be a great one. He's gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh, dude,
You can
that
play that
game
with his
was so
kids.
fun.
You can play.
Oh,
That's when you can play
absolutely.
with your kids.
That, and then also they had all the episodes on YouTube as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have the cartoon, and somebody uploaded all the episodes on there.
I might have to check it out. I mean, because I think I saw a couple of episodes.
You gotta check it out.
I gotta check it out.
And
Yeah.
then there was also Bucky O'Hare.
Oh yes.
Yeah, fuck you here.
The NES game was great. Yeah, the NES game was awesome, but they never brought the beat 'em up arcade to the home system.
Excuse me. Here's some more ones. Starfire from a company called Exidy. Came out in 1979. It's an early cockpit shooter. There was no home version of it, obviously, because it was a cockpit shooter. So that means you were actually sitting inside of a chair, like, to actually play the game.
I love games like that. You feel like you're really immersed.
As a matter of fact, there was a game called that came out for the Sega Genesis. It was similar to Afterburner, but it wasn't Afterburner. It was called something else. And not Air Combat. It was something else. Oh my goodness, I forgot what the name was called. But they actually the home version was kind of watered down, but the arcade version was so good because you had all the buttons and stuff like that. You could be able to change the the lock on and all that stuff. It was awesome. Bouncer, which is actually not similar to the Bouncer that came out for the from Square Enix, PS2 by Square Enix. Not that one. It's a digitized sprite game, unreleased. So in other words, it actually was not. It was not available for the public. It just came. Yeah, it just came out and then that was it.
Johnny remembers that one. You seen the screens of that one?
Yeah.
Dude, I showed you video footage of that game. That game was so bad.
Horrible.
Yeah, buddy.
They canceled that.
Yeah, buddy. Galaxy Force. Yeah, Galaxy Force 2. Well, they actually did make a port for the home consoles, but it was watered down. It wasn't like the unapologetically advanced version of the arcade version. I was surprised it didn't come out for the Sega Saturn. I wish it did. Galaxy Force 2.
Another game.
What was that?
Yeah, I was gonna say there was another game, the Mystic Warriors.
Oh yes, Mystic Warriors. And you and I, Johnny, we actually played that game and that thing in its entirety.
Yeah, we discovered that game.
Yes, and it was so freaking good. It was like Sunset Riders on crack. It was so good.
With ninjas.
Yeah,
that was such a fun game.
Oh my God, what an amazing game. Man, they said, but I don't understand why they didn't bring that. Listen, think about Sunset Riders, but they can't bring this game home. Wow.
They couldn't bring Cowboys and Move Beta.
Konami really has a lot of missed opportunities. I mean, seriously.
Dude, Konami was on a roll with these Saturday morning cartoons and all these other games, though, and it's a shame they never brought the home system.
They had a hit with Ninja Turtles, which is the first game.
Turtles and X-Men.
Yeah, Turtles and X-Men and all that stuff. What amazing freaking games. They ruled the arcade when it came to side scrollers. But the same to side scrollers, Konami made a name for themselves. And
exactly. And it's funny though because they knew that Saturday morning cartoons were the big bangers for kids, and everybody would play those games.
Yep.
When my parents would drop me off at the mall when they had to go shopping, they'd leave me at the arcade. I had to wait to play the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes I never got to play because I was waiting so came back.
You're waiting for someone to die or lose their lives.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
uh,
You lose all your lives or something.
yeah. Cool Riders, another good game, came out for 1995.
Cool Riders.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it was digitized motorcycle racer. The only reason why it never came home was because of licensing issues. I mean, obviously they had what was it? I forgot what it was. They had Mitsubishi. What was it? Mitsubishi. What was the other motorcycle company in there? That actually because they digitized all the motorcycles. No, was it?
Kawasaki.
David's.
Oh yeah, Kauai. Yeah, that's the one.
Kawasaki.
Yeah, Kawasaki. I'm sorry, Kawasaki. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because of the licensing, they couldn't bring it home.
Yeah.
Which is actually
That's
a travesty because when it boils down to games like that have these licenses like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever it might be. Bringing it home is almost like another ball of wax. Like for instance, if you ever played pole position in the arcade, thank God they actually changed the signs because Marlboro was like all over that joint when you were actually hitting those turns. I mean, it was like you play a couple of laps and you're like, oh man, I can use a cigarette right now. Kind of thing. And for each one of those kids, instead of smoking those turns, you can smoke that. You know what I mean? Wow. So another game.
What else was there?
Yeah, we got Outfoxies, a Smash Brothers style game. Now I actually saw the footage, dude. This would have been a huge contender. It was like almost like a Smash Brothers like platforming style of game, nothing where you just hit people off platforms. But it's pretty wild. I actually like it. It looks pretty cool.
There's also
Namco made it.
Another game. Yep. There's also I want to mention another game too. Tony knows this. You know this, Torrance. WWF WrestleFest.
Yes.
Oh, rumor has it. Oh,
definitely. That's what I wished came home.
Rumor has it, and now I am so happy that they're actually going to do it. A company that's actually competing with Arcade 1-Up. I don't even consider it a competition.
Cool.
They are.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
they are going. They are taking the license, and they're actually going to be bringing that game home with all the wrestlers and everybody that's in there. They're actually going to keep everything intact, and they're actually making a deal with WWE to bring that game home. And I hope to hell that they actually do that because. And if they actually pull this off, this could be the future of arcade games actually coming home in a more smaller miniature form. And I hope I hope the hell they actually do because Arcade 1-Up has abused all the licenses they actually have gotten. Like NFL Blitz is a shadow of itself. It's a horrible game. Doesn't have the after tackles like in the arcade game, because of NFL licensing deals, they don't want to promote violence, so they don't want to show the after hits and all that junk. Come on, stupid.
Right.
Or knocking the helmet off. They can't do that no more. Come on, bro.
Yeah. I also exactly. But that also, if they want to, but I don't think they will. Maybe they could bring the other title, WWF Superstars. But the reason why I want them to bring WWF Superstars is because I love the Billy Lee cameo appearance where he's at ringside and he's the only one that's standing up from his chair and he's cheering on with the wrestlers while everybody was sitting there. Nobody would dare tell Billy Lee to sit down because he would beat the living hell out of that person.
Oh,
to sit down.
My God.
So the company bringing home WrestleFest is called Basic Fun.
Basic Fun. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they're going to change is they're going to change all the WWFs to WWE. But other than that, everything should be the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad though.
It's Arc System.
Yes.
Arc Systems is handling it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank God for Arc Systems.
Great at the game.
Yes. Arc,
But
Arc,
Arc Systems owns Double Dragon though.
yeah.
But
Well,
they did. But remember, Techno
So
did
did the Double Dragon people on WWF, the
Yeah,
WWF
that's the
games
reason
too.
why. Yeah, that's the reason why Billy Lee was in the
Oh.
crowd.
yep, yep,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yep. Techno Japan.
So-
They own all their IP,
Yeah.
everything, everything.
Yeah, that's right because Arc System owns them now.
Yep,
So
yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there you go.
hmm
So it's coming home.
A few more games. Like for instance, Dead Connection by Taito, a mafia themed shooter which never got ported. Gee, I wonder why. But I mean, personally, I saw it, dude. Why not? Come on, they're bringing out mafia.
Yeah.
Why not bring out a mafia themed
Right.
shooter that's different? Arcade version.
Oh
Virtual Cop 3, another game that never came home. Now, this is a travesty. This right here is a travesty. Virtual Cop 1 and 2 they made home ports of these two games.
yeah. Right.
And now we have the technology that's kind of catching up. Not even a controller version like they did for House of the Dead and House of the Dead 2. Virtual Cop 3 never came home. Virtual Cop 3 came out in 2003. It is now what? 2025? You're telling me 12 years? 12 freaking years? You can 12 sorry. No, not 12. 20 22 years. You telling me in 22 years they could not bring a version of Virtual Cop home? 3 home? Seriously? Bruh.
That doesn't make any sense because they had House of Dead 3 in the home. They brought that game to the home system. Remember, the original Xbox had that game.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Hold on. This is gonna drive you wild. And this is the reason why that I had to mention this one. Xbox was supposed to get a port of this game. Xbox was supposed to get a port of this game. Never came home. The port was canceled. Gee, I wonder why. And I think this is Virtual Cop 3. Virtual Cop 3 was supposed to come home, and it got canceled.
Oh, so they brought House of the Dead 3, but they couldn't bring Virtual Cop.
They didn't bring Virtual Cop 3. Yeah, exactly. The arcade version of Virtual Cop.
Crazy Taxi 3 made its way to the original Xbox.
Yeah, you know what?
Why?
I have a feeling it's because it was actually on the last legs of the Xbox's life, or the last at the end of its console life.
Yeah.
Because this was actually between. Remember, 2003 was literally 1 year after the announcement of the Xbox 360.
Well, I mean, they were still doing Xbox games around that time.
No, they were, but yeah, but the thing is, they didn't have they had a fear. They had fear because remember, all the light gun games didn't really fare well on the console. I mean, even though people did buy it, but it didn't fare well. In other words, it didn't light the world on fire. People weren't really buying them in droves. Like for instance, in the middle of its light, you could be able to go to the store and walk into the store and actually buy a light gun game. Just for the heck of it. And trust me, I actually like the Xbox light gun games better. To be honest with you, I mean, this is just me.
No, they were not bad.
That's just me.
They were not bad at all. They were actually fun.
Yeah, and I just
Dreamcast had a sweet light gun.
Oh yes, yes. Oh gosh.
This thing had recoil, dude.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Such an amazing freaking peripheral, man.
Yeah.
And
best light gun ever had.
I'm so
the Master System light gun, which was awesome.
I am so
that was good, and the Wii system had a good some good light guns too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too, because you could actually connect your Wii controller with it, and it actually had laser accurate light gun game. It was actually very, very good. It was pretty accurate. I actually tried it.
It was very unique.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Adventure by Konami, a 3-player mystical shooter. There was no console version. Dark Adventure was actually it's almost similar to almost like Gauntlet, but it was like an isometric view. I believe. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it was similar to what's that game called again? that came out in the arcade. Dark. Goodness gracious. Oh my god, I forgot what it's called. Oh my gosh, I should have written that down. But it was actually it was similar to
You guys
that.
ever hear of Spicy Taxi?
Spicy Taxi.
Spicy Taxi.
It's Sega too. It's Sega. It was only in the arcade over there in Japan.
Spicy Taxi.
It's called Spicy Taxi.
Spicy
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Taxi.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's called.
Interesting.
That's one that never
Never
came
heard.
home, and it was very recent.
Really?
Never heard of
It
it.
just jumped out at me. I had to pick it up.
No, never heard of it. I never heard.
I'm gonna have to look that up later on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The title is not what it implies. It looks like it's a spiritual success with it, Crazy Taxi, or a prequel or something. I don't know. It's Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi with spices. Okay, all right. Sounds good. Sounds spicy.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah. Another game, Violent Storm. Now, if you like beat 'em up games, this game right here will be up your alley. Big characters walking across the screen in a World War III setting. Never ever got ported, which I don't understand why. But maybe because the market was so saturated with side scroller beat 'em ups and everything, they decided, well, it was no point. But I think the technology wasn't there either because it's 1993. What game consoles came out around that time? Super Nintendo, right? Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Turbo, what was it? The TurboGrafx 16. Actually, believe it or not, was actually around that time. But Konami did not have any contracts or deals with TurboGrafx 16, NEC, who actually made the TurboGrafx 16.
Right.
Which I'm kind of. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to mention Nice Slash. I remember we just had the Nice Slash remake that came out last year.
I was going to say Captain Commando too, but I think that was part of the collection that just.
Yeah, it was. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice Slash's remake was pretty cool. I liked it. I love good beat 'em up horror.
Yeah. Dolphin Blue.
Very unique.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Dolphin Blue. Made by Sega Sammy. This was actually around when the Thomas Ware thing was actually becoming rampant. They were bringing out games to test them out, to bring them out to the Sega Dreamcast. Unfortunately, it never reached consoles. It was a side-scrolling, action-oriented game and everything where you're actually on a dolphin and it's side-scrolling and you're shooting you have these special weapons and use your dolphin for special moves. And I was like, why?
There's a joke in there somewhere that I'm dying to make.
Yeah. Oh God, here we go. Ah man.
I'll keep it on the wrap.
Yeah, buddy. Ooh boy.
We'll talk about
yeah, buddy. I see where you're going there. Wow. Oh jeez, man. Oh, just laughing to myself. Oh God.
Keep them in the description, man.
Yeah, jeez, man. Oh God.
I want to say this game.
It's good though. I'm looking at screens right now. It looks fun.
Oh my
I'd
God.
play it.
Oh man.
Okay, I want to say this one game before I forget though. Ring of Destruction, Saturday Night Slam Masters 2 never got a home.
Yes. Oh my God, I remember that game. Oh yeah, I was kind of shocked.
It was like Final Fight for wrestling.
Yeah, and it was
That's what it was.
But
it played very. Anyone can pick it up and play it, man. It was great.
I was kind of shocked.
I mean, the thing was is that in Saturday Night Slam Masters 1, you get to move up and down the ring, but in the second game, it was like it was just like you just stayed in one lane. So it was like a fighting game.
It played more like a Street Fighter than it is as a wrestling game.
I liked it though. I don't care what people say. It was awesome. Plus, they had some Street Fighter cameos in the crowd. It was awesome. I was just disappointing that they never brought that game to the home systems.
Another game that never came home.
Capcom for not playing that.
Yeah, another game that never came home. Scud Race. Now, Scud Race was a racer that was in lieu of Daytona USA 2. And of course, Daytona USA 2 did have an arcade port, but Scud Race did not. Shockingly enough, I have a feeling that they actually slapped the Daytona label on the on Scud Race, right? And they actually made an arcade port to make it more popular because some of the stages were similar. Like for instance, you have the roller coaster rides and you have the thing, and you gonna be able to race underneath buildings and underwater tunnels and all that stuff while you're
A lot of
racing.
these games are Sega and Konami. They're dropping the ball on bringing important arcade.
Yeah.
See,
Capcom didn't really. Well, Capcom. There's a couple hits that they never dropped into the home system. We just mentioned earlier.
But I mean, the ones we're talking about, it's all Sega and Konami.
Yeah, these are the three to four pillars of the arcade. Five pillars actually. There was Midway. Midway was one. Konami was two. Capcom, Sega, yeah.
Definitely Sega, yeah.
Yeah. Did I mention Midway already? I said I mentioned Midway.
Yeah.
Oh, Data East.
Data East too.
Data East. Yeah. Data East. Yeah.
Taito.
And Taito. Yeah. And Taito. Yeah. So I would say the six pillars of the arcade. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but those are the ones we kept on churning out hits. Amazing games. House of the Dead, Scarlet Dawn. I think we mentioned a couple of these. It came out recently, 2018. My God, that was available in the arcade, but actually they did come to our shores. I believe someone actually did bring the arcade game to our shores, and it was only in select arcades.
It's Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's, exactly. It's arcade exclusive for now. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that it will come home eventually. Same thing with Silent Hill. Silent Hill, the arcade, came out in 2007. Also was available in Japan. It was a rail shooter, but it never got ported. Konami.
Resident Evil Code Veronica had one as well.
Yeah, there's another one.
Oh, really?
It's called Biohazard Code Veronica, and they had a rail shooter. Yes.
That's crazy.
Really?
Arcade for it.
Okay.
Oh, I would buy it.
Gonna seek that one out.
I would buy it.
Too.
Absolutely.
Of course.
My God. Jurassic Park. Another one. Listen, this is the one that you mentioned, Jurassic Park. Why not bring Jurassic Park home? Jurassic Park. That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
That was a missed opportunity.
They could have brought those in.
Yeah. The movie, a movie tie-in.
They slept on that one.
Yeah, a movie tie-in to Jurassic Park. Just bringing some nostalgia back to back home. And call it an arcade port and everything, and actually just kind of shout to the mountaintops and bring this game home. Oh my God! And yes.
Oh man!
The best lifeguard hands down.
Wow! Terminator Salvation, another great game. Yes, exactly.
Terminator made a lot of dumb moves.
Oh, God! Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Konami was sitting on a gold mine. They were sitting on a gold mine, and the gold mine got buried. So that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I'm still upset to this day that Sega never brought Golden Axe: The Return of Death Azure. I was like, why the hell had they not bring that game to the home console? That was one of their best arcade side scrollers of all time. Especially knocking off when you beat Death Adler at the end, though, and he screams like golf from Rambo for his love when he falls to his death.
Oh,
Yeah, he does.
So we have that. Terminator Salvation, we already mentioned that. Raw Thrills, that's Raw Thrills. I mean, Raw Thrills, they actually get a whole bunch of licensed games that are only available in arcade. So you know what? That probably will never see the light. As a matter of fact, no, that's false. I've been hearing. Rumor has it, well, not rumor, but I mean, it's been actually happening. Raw Thrills is actually starting to port some of their arcade games home. I've been noticing that when I went to the arcade, when I went to the Microsoft store, or the Xbox store, and I was actually strolling, and I said, whoa, this game came out in the arcade. Raw Thrills? Really? Holy crap. Who would have thought? They actually bringing that game home. Raw Thrills and the thing is actually bringing arcade games home. I forgot what they're licensed through. They're licensing through themselves, or they probably just self-publishing. I'm not really too sure. Daytona USA 2. I already mentioned that before. That's coming. There was no home console version. Wait, that's false though. Yakuza. One of the newer ones that they actually had an arcade port of supposedly a Daytona 2, but it didn't slap on the Daytona 2 label. It was actually called something racing or whatever it was 2 or a generic name, and it was actually an arcade port of Daytona 2. Yeah, look it up. Because remember they have Virtua Fighter 3. That was actually one of the arcade cabinets. Virtua Fighter 3 was one of them, and then
But the Virtua Fighter 3 did come out on the Dreamcast.
it did came out. Yeah, exactly. But in the Yakuza game and everything, when you go to the arcade, they actually have the cabinets that were there. And you could actually go to.
Right, yes.
Yeah, and one of them was a generic version of Daytona 2, but it wasn't called Daytona 2. It was called something else. It was poorly optimized though because it was a little stuttery, but it was definitely the arcade version. I know it because because the certain stages and everything, especially the one where you go to the carnival and you're going around the track and stuff like that. So freaking amazing. I think
all the Yakuza and the Like a Dragon games, they always had the arcade games that you can go. You can actually go in the Sega arcades and play the actual arcade games of all these games that Sega puts in there. They put like Virtua Fighter 2. They put like Puyo Puyo. All those games.
Playing Space Harrier.
Yeah, Space Harrier, yes.
Space Harrier,
of course.
Yeah.
Space Harrier, Outrun.
They put Outrun in there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that Space Harrier, Planet Harriers never got home.
Yes! Oh my God, Planet Harriers!
Right.
Yo,
Harriers.
What? Yo,
that brought that home too.
Why not? Why not bring that game home? Listen, I love Space Harrier. Space Harrier 2. Listen, I mean Space Harrier, Space Harrier 2. You can actually play on the little mini console, the Sega Mini. I actually have that, and they enhanced it. They enhanced the Sega the Space Harrier 2. They enhanced it, and now you can play the game. It's with smoother scrolling and all that stuff, and with the Mode 7 or what? Well, not Mode 7. You can't call it Mode 7 technically. It was scaling, the scaling, but it was there. They enhanced it. It was awesome. I played it, loved it, and I want to play it again. I love the Space Harrier.
Of course.
Star Wars Trilogy arcade.
Yeah, another Sega,
Sega, man. Sega, man. Holy cow.
Didn't they bring Star Wars arcade to the 32X?
No, they never did.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Not that I remember. No.
Nope. Actually, no, never ported it. They actually did
I could have sworn they brought some Star Wars games to the.
Yeah, it was a trilogy, but it wasn't the arcade trilogy. It wasn't the arcade trilogy. No, it was some other hybrid, and didn't have the lightsaber battles and none of that stuff, and the rails and off the rail stuff. Nope, none of that. Yeah. So
it was something else.
It's something completely different.
I knew there was some Star Wars game that did come out of the 32X. So
check this out. You know what I just found out?
What's that?
What's up?
On Planet Harrier, did you know that story is connected with the Fantasy Zone game?
Yep.
And Zillion?
Yep.
You knew that?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay, well,
listen, dude, listen. What is the first thing?
What
is the first? Okay,
Sega's always connecting their games with each other. They always.
Here's a pop. Here's a pop quiz for you guys and everything because well, it's not really a pop quiz and everything. It's a little Easter egg for you. Listen,
let's do it.
When you play Space Harrier, what is the first thing that he says when he actually gets onto the stage? Welcome to the Fantasy Zone. Get ready.
Oh,
that's right.
Okay.
I only remember to get ready.
Yeah. So that's exactly what he said. So this is actually though. So basically, they always link their games. So that's a little
Yeah.
listener. So anybody who actually sits right there and he's like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, yeah, play the first game and everything. That's the first thing that pops out of his lips.
Yeah, but that is so funny that you mentioned that because Sega always connecting like each other's games with each other because if I don't know if you guys seen the latest couple of the new Shinobi games, their gameplay. Remember I showed you guys they had Ryo Hazuki riding the forklift
Mhm.
in the background.
Oh yes,
So
yes.
I'm saying to myself though, wait a minute, is this a signal or is this some kind of a sign that we might see a new Shimu game in the future? So I mean, knowing
Maybe.
Sega, you never know because if you remember Future Rage 4, in the sewer stage, you saw a graffiti of Joe Musashi,
Yeah.
and look what we got.
That was a
We get a
foretelling.
Shinobi game.
That was a foretelling of what
I'm
they
just
what they
happy
were
you
actually
guys
working
like
on.
Fantasy Zone. I loved Fantasy Zone.
Listen.
Dude, that game's always in the Yakuza games.
Oh
I
my
love that
gosh,
game.
love
Yeah.
those games. Love that and Flicky and a few other games. I love those
Yeah,
games.
those
Yeah,
fun
I
Alex,
arcade
love
games.
Flicky.
Alex Kidd's on there.
Alex Kidd.
I love
Oh
Alex Kidd too.
yes,
Yeah.
my God. Boogie Wings. Now Boogie Wings actually did come home. I was going to mention that before because people were talking about Boogie Wings. Oh, Boogie Wings. Boogie Wings did come home via Antstream. If you go on Antstream right now and you actually get yourself a lifetime membership, you could be able to get yourself hands on some amazing arcade ports, indie ports, all different types of games, and you can actually get that for a minute for a long time, and you can do challenges and all that stuff. It's so awesome. Boogie Wings, though. Boogie Wings is one of those games. You can play that game, and it's so good. It's a game it's a shooter, side scroller, but you also have a hook, and you can be able to pick up objects and throw them at your enemies and all that stuff, and you can be able to, and use it as protection. It is so wild, but so crazy different game. Data East was in their bag that back then.
Oh man,
Um,
was on a roll during
yeah,
that time.
they were on a roll. Games like Karnov and a whole bunch of other games. Love those games.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so
Bad Juice,
And then you
come
beat
on.
up Karnov and Bad Juice in the first stage.
oh yes.
That's what they disrespected that character, man.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some developer hated that character.
here's a fun fact for you. Fun fact for you. Techno Japan and everything decided to take one of the characters and everything. You mentioned Karnov, right? Well, he's actually considered actually one of the stage bosses and everything in to combat tribes. So, which is actually kind of wild
Oh,
too.
that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. So
You
that's
fight him there too. So why
yeah.
are they beating up on one of the heroes?
Who
What? Does
knows?
somebody not like him? I mean, what's going on? What's the hate with this
Who
guy?
did Karnov piss
I don't
off?
get it. You
No.
gotta piss off somebody
Yeah.
to be in that position.
Maybe because he actually disrespected him at the circus and everything. And I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like breathing fire. I don't know. Maybe he drink up all that vodka and and who knows?
They say he shows up
No.
in Trio the Punch too.
Oh yes, he has a place right.
Yeah, he's there too.
Yep.
Yo, he's enjoying that.
He's all over the place.
He's a lot of stuff.
He's all over the place, man. Karnov is like icon when it comes through Data East. He is an icon, and it's kind of wild. Another game, called Battle Back Raid, is a top down shooter, bullet hell type of game. And you know how I love shooting shmups. If you don't know it by now, I love shmups. Give me shmups all day. Bullet hell games that punish you and make you cry home to mama. Those are my games. Give them to me. Those are the games that I live for. And the adrenaline pumping, fingers push button until you bleed kind of games. I love those games. So Battle Back Raid and everything is made by Rising or 18. Is actually a game that never really gets ported to the Americas. Never made a U.S. port. Is only available in Japan in 1999. um, and never came home. I guess. Well, I mean, think about it. There was a lot of shmups around that time too. 1996 and 2003 was like the era of shmups. It was like shmups all day, all different types of games that are coming out. It was crazy. I think it was between 2003 and 2009 or something like that when games like Ikaruga and other games,
Yeah.
the amazing games that came out by Treasure Games. Oh my god! Yes, bring those games, bring them to me. Gaiapolis, is made by Konami, is a fantasy action RPG. It's an arcade game, an arcade RPG. Came out in 1993, but never got ported. That was a damn shame. Holy cow!
Yeah.
That game looks great. Oh my gosh! You know what? I might just download that for my main. If I can get my hands on. I do not condone. I do not condone. I'm not going to tell you the sites to go to and everything to get your games. Find it by your own accord, obviously. But
Yeah.
my suggestion
Your
is
own research.
yes, do your own research and everything. But my suggestion is get the game by any means necessary. You will know what I'm talking about, and ask yourselves why. Why they didn't bring this game home? I don't understand why. It's great. Let's see. There's another great game, Metamorphic Force. Now, this game is freaking amazing. Side-scrolling. Who? Okay. Why would you not want to play a game where you actually become, it's like a beat 'em up, right? But you could power up and become a beast. So almost in lieu of Altered Beast. Almost in
Yeah.
almost.
Turtles meets all.
Yeah.
Turtles and Ultra.
Wait,
Yes.
hold on a second. Is this the game made by Konami? Did Konami do this game?
Yes, he did. That's right, Konami.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yep,
know
it's another
exactly
Konami.
what game you're talking about. Yes.
Yes.
Because it looks like turtles.
Oh,
Yes.
why didn't they bring this game home? Why didn't they bring this game home? Holy cow,
Yeah,
the
that's
game
a
is
damn shame.
amazing. Look, look at it. Even the banter between the bosses and yourself. Holy crap! It was like, damn, what's this game was
Yeah.
anime before it actually became a game?
Dude.
Dude,
Those are crazy too.
so
Oh,
good.
and oh my god! And speaking of Konami, okay, another Saturday morning cartoon arcade. I cannot believe I did not mention this earlier. Shame on me. GI Joe, the arcade game.
And yes, another game. Holy cow, man. Why?
Yes, that intro was, oh my goodness.
Got to get
Brings me back.
tough. No, Joe.
Yo, Joe.
Got to get
Got to
tough.
get. Yo, Joe.
Yes. Oh, man. Listen,
That's what they used in the cartoon. They was playing from the
Yo,
arcade
yo.
machine. So I'm not
woo. Yes.
Yo,
Oh, my gosh.
Got to get. Got.
Yeah.
Yo, Joe.
They got to bring that game. Why not bring that game? Why? Licensing? I guess it had something to do with licensing. That game should have actually should have been ported home. Never did. Now, of course, there was a game that came out previously, never got ported either. It was actually called Come was Come no not Come Back. What was it called again? It began with a C. Contra. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get the name. But it was similar to GI Joe. Actually, matter of fact, it was actually a previous game.
It was a shooting game?
It was a shooting game. This thing was where you actually had to scroll forward, and you're actually shooting, and it's basically the same. No, not Cabal.
Sure,
No. Cabal was actually stagnant. You remember when you actually on the ground and you had the roller ball and you actually be able to shoot the enemies with the cursor and all that stuff. You can destroy buildings and get like new weapons and all that stuff, and you actually just destroy as much as you can. And then what happens is when you actually finish the stage and everything, it shows you kind of jump up and everything and make some weird jumping noises. And when you actually run into the distance, and then you go to the next stage and you're dealing with tanks and all that stuff and grenades, and you have to use the ball to do barrel rolls and stuff like that to avoid getting hit by Molotovs. Yeah, look it up. It's completely different. But there's another game, made by Konami. And that game came out before G.I. Joe, which actually was based on the same concept. So I'm trying to find out what that game was called. Oh my gosh, I actually had that when the 360 actually had made a game called it was called Xbox Xbox Arcade or Live Arcade or something like that. I forgot what it was. Where you actually could build your own arcade, and you had arcade cabinets. You could put your arcade cabinets anywhere you want, and you actually had certain games, like certain licenses you could actually be able to put in the arcade. I forgot what it was. Oh my gosh. I forgot what the game is called. It's gonna ruin my life. I'll find it and then I'll probably post it. But there's that. We already talked about Mystic Warriors. Thundercross 2. They actually made the first game came home. The second game never made it home. Make it make sense. Made by Konami. Konami is just throwing this money away. They just sitting right they're sitting right
Tell me
there.
The
about
players
it.
of the arcade just did not bring stuff home for the most part, unless it was like licensed by a third party, but like Tengen.
Yes, Tengen. Oh
That's how you
yes.
play Shinobi on the Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the only way I saw
RBI
it.
baseball.
RBI Baseball, the Rolling Thunder.
Yep.
Rolling Thunder, that was never
Yes.
never home.
Yeah,
never had
Rolling Thunder.
Yep. Oh, still to this very day, my favorite game. Oh my God, yes, I love that game. That game is great. And Rolling Thunder 2,
I
of
remember
course.
Shinobi on the NES. Yes.
And Shinobi, yes,
Absolutely.
indeed. Yep. Now, which one do you think is better? I'm just, I hate to kind of, disrupt the flow a little bit,
No,
a little bit. But they made a Shinobi for the Sega Master System, and you actually can have weapons in this one, where you have nunchucks and stuff like that. And then you had the NES version, which was actually more pure to the arcade version.
Yeah, that was.
You know. So I mean,
Yeah.
my question is, and I think, which one do you feel like was more like an evolution or like a better game? I'm leaning more towards the. I don't know why, but the Master System version was they. I guess they wanted to make it different. Where you have nunchucks.
That was a good one. I mean, I did like both the NES and the Master System, but everybody leans towards the Master System one.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
Because of the Sega system.
Yeah, I think it might be because of the Sega System.
Yeah,
Because
an energy bar, it wasn't as hard.
yeah, that is true too.
People are complaining in the arcade that you get hit once and you're dead.
That's what the arcade is for. It's a quarter muncher. Guys, listen.
That's what it was.
Can I?
It was Shadow Dancer.
Oh my gosh! Can I be? Can I give you a moment of reflection? My fellow players, please gather around. Come around to the campfire. Old Daddy Hud Zero is going to read you a little story. Okay? When the days and everything where arcade games and everything were made to kick your ass. Basically, it makes you a better man. Video games and everything were made to take your money. That is exactly what they're here to do. So when you go to the arcade and you use your arcade coins and you end up losing them, that's what they are made to do. So my suggestion is to get good. Have a nice day. So, but anyway,
Or you could trick the machine with the.
hey, don't give them the arcade
We do not
secrets.
endorse illegal activity.
Do not give them the arcade secrets. Absolutely not. No, absolutely. You get I'll revoke your arcade card. I will revoke your arcade card key. Your arcade card key. Your card key is revoked. So stamp. Denied. All right. So anyway, Dragon's Gun came out for Data East, a light gun fantasy game. I played this. Dude, Dragon Gun, why not? Why not? Listen, the light guns that are coming out, the AI ones, that's made by a company called, I think it was called Game. They're bringing out the ports of the Namco favorites of Time Crisis 2, and what was the other one called? I forgot what the other one. The other one was up. Dang it, what is it called? Carnival something? I forgot what it's called. they're bringing the light gun games home. The technology is there. Why not bring Dragon Gun home? Data East is now porting some of these games through Hamster and all that stuff. Why not have the peripheral be an option and bring this game home? You know, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Come on, give it to us en masse. You got to do it. And then there's a few others too. And I think there are a couple of honorable mentions. Um, there's a few games that came out in the arcade that never really got a full on port. Like there's a Badlands, I believe it was called, where you actually it's more like a demolition type of game where you actually can smash cars and stuff like that. In this arena style. It's that never came home. My gosh, what other games never came home? Those are military games that came out. That's another one. Never came home. Where you actually sit right there and you actually mashing buttons and using the roller ball to be able to do all these like obstacles and stuff like that. That never came home either. Now, name some other ones. I'm trying to get them off of the top of my head. That never made a had a home
I
court.
think I pretty much named every arcade though.
You did? Okay. All right.
I think I already named the ones that I already had the stuff already.
Cool.
I was gonna say Pitfire 2, but I totally forgot that Pitfire 2 was gonna be exclusively for the Genesis, and then they canceled that.
Yeah, I noticed that too. There was a few games that came out for the Sega Genesis that actually went straight to home and never actually had an arcade port. And there's quite a few.
Pitfire 2 was one of them.
Yeah.
And then they decided to cancel that game. They were gonna add like more fighters to the game as well.
And I think another reason why, I think that was around where the arcade era was starting to slow down a little bit. And they decided that the home arcade, the home consoles were starting to kind of slowly pick up, and everyone was actually getting the home ports. Like for instance, what really started this feverish amount of games that are coming home, and actually the reason why the arcade was starting to slow down, you could thank Sega. Sega really was the pioneer when it came to getting close to arcade perfect games. Close to. Not arcade perfect, close to.
Right.
Like games like Altered
Beast. Genesis though.
Yes. So, yeah, clearly. Altered Beast. Yes. Altered Beast. Golden Axe. Strider. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Near arcade perfect. Near. Not quite.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Mm-hmm.
But close.
Right.
And several other games, that actually had Golden Ghost. Golden Ghost and the thing. Yeah. That's Konami was really throwing games at Genesis and say, hey, you know what? We'll have you have us as a publisher. They're the developer, but we'll have Sega as a publisher. So they published Burks. They published Forgotten Worlds. Oh my God, love that game. Forgotten Worlds.
Yeah, Forgotten Worlds. Yes.
Ghouls and Ghosts. Yes. Holy cow. Amazing games. That got ported because of Sega. I love you, Sega. You're my friend. And I have to give a shout out. This is actually a special little plug-in. I have to give a shout out to I forgot his name. I'm gonna look up his name because I had to give him props. I can give him proper props. He said that basically he wants Sega to return to their roots. They want to become a legacy.
About,
yes.
I know you're talking about. I saw it on tweet.
Yes, and you know what? I will kiss his feet. I will literally kiss his feet, and because this is what Hey, listen. Hey, don't knock it. I feel like this is actually the right direction. This See, Microsoft, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is how you get your peeps, the people who actually consider you loyal, the loyal followers, the ones who actually play the games. This is how you get them by actually going back to where it started, saying, "Hey, we are actually going to be making some amazing games, and we're going back to bringing bringing our lineage back." That's exactly. I think that was his words. Hold on, let me see if I can actually get that. Say bringing back legacy. Yes, legacy. I think it was a legacy. I think his name. I'm trying to get his name. Uh, Oh, here we go. Suji Utsumi. Suji Utsumi. He's actually going. He's actually the one who's actually pioneering this, and he says he's. I think he's the new CEO of the company. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and he says that he wants to bring the legacy of Sega back. He wants Sega to go back to its console roots and whatever it is, and bring those franchises that actually people love back. And I'm hoping against hope that Sega comes back and actually. Can you imagine if Sega actually decides to bring out a new console in the new era? Now I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
Very happy.
I'll be happy too. I'll be happy too. Like Resurrect, or like if the Sega Dreamcast literally actually somehow, some way, just comes into the foray and just disrupts the whole entire industry, and they decide to bring out the Dreamcast 2, or better yet, or resurrect the Dreamcast of somewhere. I don't know. Whatever they do, it will still be exciting. I will be the first one in line, and I will buy that bad boy and all whatever games that comes with it. I would just like I did with the Dreamcast. Dreamcast, I went over there and I got myself.
Yeah, I thought launch day. Yeah.
Yes,
Of course.
absolutely. Come on, man. If Sega actually does this and says, you know what, we're back, game over. Game over. That will put the whole entire industry on notice. And people who actually was loyal Sega fans will be flocking, not walking, flocking to Sega and all of its love and stuff like that. And they bring their classic franchises, because I already know that they were pulling all their franchises out from certain websites and everything. They're delisting them left and right. And I'm saying to myself, why the heck are they doing? Why are they doing that? This doesn't make any sense. Why are they doing this? There must be a reason. Now imagine if that is the reason. I'll be like, wow, yo, dude, put it, give me your money, here, take my money now. I will do it. So, but anyway, we are just about into the closing of this show. Is there any arcade games that you have played in the past that never, ever, ever got a home port, or better yet, not even a near arcade port? Why don't you go ahead and put it into the chat and things? Let me know what it is. What kind of game that you actually played that you wish actually, now that the technology is kind of gotten better, why not just jump on in and tell us what it is? Like once again, just a little shameless plug. We are almost there. We are almost there. We just a few more to 100 subscribers. Just a few more. If we get there in our next episode, we will let you know that we are going to start that contest, and we will actually tell everybody who actually subscribed to us that you can actually get an opportunity to win. Only one person will be able to win, but you have the opportunity to try, and we're going to have many more contests in the future. As long as you get 100 subscribers, or even more in the future, we will actually do more contests. And of course, you can still come to our Patreon. Our Patreon little QR code right there on the bottom right hand corner. Go ahead and check it out. You know, join our Patreon, $5. We'll actually put you into our like walk of fame. We don't have any anybody who jumping on yet, but that's okay.
I bet you we get challenged.
Yes.
I bet you we get challenged.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
get us to 1 billion followers, everybody out there, you just go into subscribers. We'll get Torrance to kiss you to his feet.
Oh yes.
1 million followers.
No, I would.
You down, bro?
I will put. Yeah. I will put on red lipstick. I will put on red lipstick and everything, and I will kiss his feet, and I will take pictures. I'll put it on blast.
This guy gets entertained.
He's crazy enough to do it, folks.
I am. I am real crazy.
I tell you, 1 million.
Oh,
1 million.
Oh my gosh, yes, sir.
1 million.
But we had,
shoot up there.
yeah, we had a great time and everything. Like I said, yeah, we had some ups and downs. But you know what? Like I said, life goes on. I'm pretty sure that all the devs and everything will land on their feet. And you know what? Appreciate gaming. Appreciate gaming for what it is. It's fun. It's fun. It's excitement. The thing is a way to share. You know, the way to get together. There's camaraderie. There's so much discovery. There's so much in there. And trust me, you know, once you play, you know, the cares of the world just kind of go away. Goes away. So, but anyway, that is it. Once again, I am Torrance Hudson, also known as Hud Zero, and then of course my partners and everything. They can do their sign off. Why don't you go ahead and hit them up?
Yo, I got one thing for the players, man. Despite all the bad news today, you're always gonna have something to play somewhere, and be optimistic. Where are all these developers gonna go? At least some of them are gonna start their own companies. They're still gonna get good new stuff coming out there. They don't need those big guys like Microsoft. So play on.
Yep.
Also, another thing, those developers, you know, that got laid off, I think the best way for them is to go indie. That way they'll have freedom for themselves. So, and also,
And if you guys listen, I'm willing to work with you.
There you go.
Thank you, Johnny.
Exactly. Of course, just bring it out there. And just
Sorry,
remember,
brother, keep going.
look, the important thing about gaming is fun. So, take care of yourselves, players, and thank you for tuning in as always.
All right, folks. We had another great episode, and obviously, you know, we are available here every Friday and Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are actually here to entertain you. This is actually for you, all the players. So, once again, have a good night and keep on leveling up. And thank you. And we'll see you next time on the next Gaming Treble.
Mahalo.